Hello YouTubers. Today we should be covering the HPE Proliant BIOS and ILO firmware upgrade, an essential function that you should do if you're a data center engineer. Okay, so we'll start off and get the service pack for HPE Proliant Gen 10. You can do a quick Google search. Here you find the service pack. Okay, so just select that. I'm going to try and zoom in at certain points. This is the ISO 8.9 gigabytes, and this is the 2026 March release. You need to download this. Here it says Gen 10 SPP service pack for Proliant. Contains the firmware as well as drivers. Okay, so I've connected to ILO and my server is on the IP address in a browser. You can use a KVM, plug in a screen and burn the ISO to a DVD if you wish. But we're going to do this via the browser and the ISO file. Okay, so there's various options. I'm going to use a remote connection to the Java web start, and it'll bring up a little remote console. There are other options for .NET and HTML5. I find the Java web start works quite well on this browser, and here you go. Server's currently turned off, so we'll momentarily press the button. Obviously this is through software, and while that is starting to warm up, we will connect the ISO, and it will be connected as a CD, and then we'll boot from the CD. Okay, I'm going to fast forward. As the server is booting up, you can see the bar that goes across, and we'll need to press the F11 button, which is the boot menu button. So when it gets about here, press the boot menu button. Don't let it get all the way, otherwise it'll boot into the operating system and then you'll have to restart. Okay, down here we have the ILO virtual USB CD-ROM, which we've enabled, and our virtual drive when we connected the ISO. You have an automatic firmware update, but we are going to select the interactive update. If you select the automatic firmware update, you can just leave it and it will do everything on its own, but it's good to see what's happening behind the scenes, so we're going to use the interactive option. This might take a minute or two, but I'll fast forward through the options. Select the EULA by clicking the accept, and then we'll hit next. Okay, I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see it clearly on your screen. And then I'll zoom out because I've lost the button. Okay, we're doing the firmware update. As I said, this takes a little while, so don't panic. It might take, say, 5 minutes or so, but don't worry as it goes through the inventory. Although this video is less than 10 minutes, it actually will take about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so it's gone through the inventory and it's found 4 things which we want to do here, and that is the firmware, the ILO or integrated lights out, and the BIOS firmware, which will be updating as well. Okay, we've selected deployment, and that's in progress. When the ILO is being upgraded, obviously we're connecting via ILO, so it will disconnect us. So don't panic. We'll be disconnected for about 5 minutes, and then you'll have to log back on. Okay, we've logged back on, and as you can see, it's still continuing to deploy the remaining items, which is good. Okay, it's all done here. You can see it's success, and more success. Okay, I've got a micro Gen 10, so that's an additional option down on the bottom. Everything is selected, and then you've got a log file on the right hand side. Now we reboot. You can see it's already disconnected the CD-ROM. I say CD, obviously it's a DVD because it's a quite large ISO. And you'll see here now, I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit. You can see it says that the ROM is updated, but as you can see halfway down the screen, it's still doing a firmware update. So although at the top it says it's done, it's not actually completely done. So we still have to wait as it's doing the applying the firmware update. Okay. Now it's ready. It's going to reboot itself. I'm just going to hit the F11 here so it stops. Okay, it's rebooted itself. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we go. Now here we have the system ROM is in 2026 version. And that is pretty much it. We are done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.